Okay, I'm back. How do you convince someone that you do have LBD, or that they do have LBD? Well, I, I don't know if someone had to convince me, and I know I said I had to give that some thought, because I don't know if someone had convinced me or not that I had LBD, because I really don't. I knew my body so well until the fact that I realized that I had it. And you know, the interesting part that I have found out about it, and you know, just in everyday life, it's this disease is no different than any other disease. There are functional alcoholics that you can tell them, hey, you're an alcoholic, you're drinking every day, and they won't believe it. And there are workaholics that they work every day and they never take a day off, and they wonder why, you know, they're not married or whatever the case is. But in taking things and putting all in perspective, with this disease, and until, like a drug addict has to find his bottom. He can't do it for you. He can't do it for me. He can't do it for anyone other than himself. But here's a little cliche that I've always used, an analogy with a drunk. Just because a drunk makes it home doesn't mean that he didn't realize that how many people he ran off the road. And I always said, or how many accidents he's almost caused. All the fact is that he got home, and he just so figuring that he got home is a way of saying that, hey, I can drive drinking, you know. But I often said this: what if I could put a video on that car, and just monitored it and played it back for that person, and he would see at that point, he said, well, dang, I almost ran him over, almost ran him. I hit the curb, I did this, I did that, you know, I scraped the side of the car, I almost run down two people on the street, I was swerving all over the road, you know, and reflect upon it. Because sometimes it's out of sight, out of mind. You know, we think we can do things. As I even look at these tapes and I play them back for a second time, man, I think to myself, wow, it doesn't appear for me to be doing something that I typically wouldn't do in the old person. But as I look at them, I can progressively see me even getting worse because of where I was. You know, so until you just kind of monitor it and play it and go back and forth with it, they're not going to understand it. They're not going to realize it. And a simple way to do it is just ask non-confrontational questions like, which way did you get here? Like if they're coming to visit you, obviously she still drives, but if they're coming to visit you, just ask them, hey, which way did you come? And find out what time they leave home, and kind of schedule the time. Gee, you generally get here quicker than that. How come you didn't exit on 3-3 or whatever, you know, at 3:15 or 3:14 exit? You generally get off at 4:14 exit. Just little things, just subliminally bring them up without attacking them. And you'll find that it gives them food for thought, and they start to question themselves. Or just ride in the car with them, observe, and say, are you going to put your turn signal on? You know, just bring up little things. But not to the point where as that you're trying to force it down. Like I said, on most cases, the early onset, on some people, man, they still have their factual, they still have their thought patterns and things of that nature. And hell, there's days when I'm perfect, perfect as God has made me, of course, but but I'm perfect to the point where I understand everything going on around me. I can bang, 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 bang. And I was just looking at a thing I was reading on one of my tapes, and you can look at it too. If you reflect back to it, you can say to, I believe it was one of the ones that, because I choose to, I think that's the tape. And as I look back at that, man, I'm telling you, I couldn't remember. I had the result in notes, but it took me so long and was so frustrating trying to read those notes, man. And that's what this disease does for you. And after I sat back and look at it, and you can see the facial expression I have today and the amount of energy I have in my conversation to you, there's a total difference. So if you took me today and said, hey, remember how that one video you did was, and I would say to you, I say, that's not me. You know, couldn't have been. But if you have nothing to compare it to, like I said, with a video or something that they can physically see, you ain't convincing nobody of nothing. That's as that driving Miss Daisy would say, and he said to her, he said, I know when I gotta break water. You know, when she said, Hope said, I gotta pee. You know, he said, Miss Daisy, I know when I gotta break water. I'm 67 years old. I know when I gotta go to the bathroom. And she said, just keep driving, Hope, just keep driving. Miss Daisy, I'm gonna pull over here now. And so, you know, she knows, but who want to know this? You know, who want to know this? And as long as she figures she's doing these and getting away with it, she's good to go. So, you know, just tape it, monitor, ask small little questions, and let her reflect on it, you know, and pretty soon it'll pop up in her head. But you're not going to do an intervention with her. Trust me. You're just going to lose whole sight of her. This is not an intervention disease where you can just jump in and tell somebody they got it. Not especially while they're in their right minds and thinking you're out of your goddamn mind. But, you know, excuse my French, but, you know, that's how I was. You know, I'm just being real with you, but you're not going to convince anyone of anything. They're going to have to convince themselves. But you can't measure something you're not monitoring. So you got to monitor and measure it, and then appeal to it, okay? And just play it back for her. And I think that something's got to spark in her head, and she's got to hit her bottom. Until she hits that bottom, nothing's going to change for her, and you either. So don't stress out about it. You're not going to make her change. This disease will make her change, okay? I love you, girl. Be good, and hopefully this answers your question. If you got more, you know where to get a hold of me, and if I come up with some more things or ideas, hey, I'll talk to you about it. But this is where it is for now. Hey, good luck. I love you. Bye.